Hey guys, this is Old Man Wags here with Atlantic Pressure Washers. We're showing off our latest install. Basically what we've got going on is a monstrosity of a commercial washing machine. In a sense, this can pretty much do anything on a commercial property. Let's take a walk around and actually talk about what's going on with this truck. First and foremost, we've got a Ram 4500 with a payload that can support a 525 gallon tank, 2 Fahrenheit 83s, 5 hose reels completely loaded up with hose, and a 24 volt pump, in addition to a 50 gallon DOT approved chemical tank. As we look at the unit itself, we've basically got our water tank, our plumbing and filter access right here in this little pocket. We've got a dedicated supply line going to our Honda GX690, as well as our TSF 2021 pump. This is, of course, a 12 volt Beckett burner, so it's a hot water unit that basically runs off of the charging system of the unit. As we move around to the side of this, as you can see, we've got a half-inch whip line that's going here. This is good because not only is it rated for a lot more heat than the 3/8 line, it's also rated for a higher burst pressure, in addition to just being a beefier connection. Our goal was as little bit of maintenance as possible for this guy so that he can basically fire this up, get on the road. We see him once a year to swap out some fittings and basically do tune-ups on the machines, and really that's it. We've got this going to an SM18 that holds a single 300-foot strand of 3H double wire hose. That hose is a beast. It was a nightmare to get on the reel just because of how heavy and how durable it is, but it's one of the most durable hoses on the market, and that's why we chose it for our customer. That is stacked over top of a 175-foot garden hose line. What that means is he has 175 feet of distance to go to his water source, and that feeds his tank. You'll notice on the other side, we've got the exact same hose reel on the bottom that's holding the exact same capacity. In theory, he can park in between 2 water sources, go 175 feet each direction, and that's feeding this tank. That way, both of our feeds are getting filled as fast as possible, getting as much water in that 500 gallon tank as possible. As we move more towards the center of this, we've got about 275 feet of half-inch ag hose that runs in conjunction with a 24 volt Everflow bleach pump. This specific contractor isn't actually using sodium hypochlorite. We chose this pump based on its performance. He wanted to basically just flood a surface with chemical as fast as possible. That way his machines can pick up the slack and really do the rest from there. This machine is set up pretty simple. We basically got a 3-way valve so he can pull from the water tank, or he can pull from his dedicated chemical tank sitting right there. If we look inside of this pocket, you'll notice that there are 4 batteries. We basically got this running to have machine number 1 on this back battery, machine number 2 on this back battery. As we get to the other side, you'll see the charging system, but basically that machine runs off that battery, charges that battery, and that runs to a series of electrical components that basically manipulate and charge the 24 volt battery cell that is sitting behind that. So those units are sitting there. We've got the control panel to the side, which we'll explain in a second, but that's all powering this 24 volt pump. That way you can work a little bit quieter. Doesn't have to work on something like an air powered system or a gas powered system because he's just flooding the surface once and then he's letting the big machines do the rest of the work. On the other side of this, we've got that hose reel we already talked about in conjunction with, again, the exact same 300-foot 2-wire hose. Again, just selecting it because it's a beefy hose. It's the most durable thing that he could use. And when you're working with heat, when you're working with high flow, when you're working with high pressure, you really want something that's going to be durable, reliable, and that's where that Dirt Killer hose comes into play. Let's go ahead and move down the side of this. We've got the exact same system. This is our Fahrenheit 83. Again, Honda GX690. We've got the TSF 2021 pump giving us 8 gallons a minute. Our gas tank, our diesel tank, and our 12 volt Beckett burner. We've got almost the exact same plumbing supply. We've got a ball valve, we've got a strainer, and then we actually have a cam lock assembly for quick and easy diagnosis in the field if we ever needed to do something. We've also got that in conjunction with a 2-inch dump line. As you can see, that makes things pretty easy to empty this out at the end of each job site. That way you're not traveling down the road with any more weight than you need to. Let's zoom in on this electrical box and we'll kind of give you an overview of really what's going on here. We have 4 switches on the bottom. We've got our 24 volt pump, easy on off toggle switch. You'll notice that we do have a green indicator light to give you an idea if that pump's running. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but that pump actually just kicked on and it's starting to empty out our water tank already. In addition to that, we've got 3 different lights on this. We've got our rear LED, we've got our front LED. These lights are basically so that we can illuminate a job site and really just pick up as much light and put some daylight onto a darkened job site wherever possible. In addition to that, we've got our 12 volt tank light. It's kind of hard to see in the light, but we'll show you some pictures here in a second. What that does is it again illuminates this tank so that we can see wherever our actual water level is. The theory there is that when you're 300 feet away, either direction, all you got to do is glance over, look at your tank. You can see the difference in the shadows, how dark something is versus how light something is. That's a steady indicator as to what's actually in the tank itself. So this entire system was set up to be as maintenance free as possible, to be as durable, reliable as possible, so that our contractor can get to the job, work as fast, work as hard, and really get as much done in a single operation as possible. Some of the other features that we just kind of threw into this, you'll notice we put some grip tape up there. This is a flat black finish on a steel bed. When this gets wet, because no matter what you're going to say in the comments, we know that every single vehicle does get wet in this industry. We don't want anyone to actually slip. So we've got a nice bit of traction right there, completely different than what's sitting right here. All the hoses are running down the center, so we do open up that pocket right there in the center for a little bit of extra storage, and everything's nice and clean and tucked away. In addition to that, all of the electronic solenoids, because there are a lot of pieces on this, they're basically protected by wires that are rated for the marine grade. So again, flooding underwater the entire time, different environments, more protective jackets, in addition to that waterproof enclosure that we just saw in conjunction with basically a lot of waterproof breaker solenoids and some rectifiers. That step, not gonna lie, way above my head, but the Dirt Killer team did a great job of designing that box for us, and we're happy to Atlantic Pressure Washers to install it for them. We'd love to hear you guys' feedback in the comments section below. This is Atlantic Pressure Washers. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to turn the water on.